Welcome collectors to another edition of Like a Hawk Cards. Today I am showing off my wrestling purchases at the National this year. So I will say a hint about wrestling cards. There are not a lot of dealers that have them. So if you know which dealers are going to have them, you need to hit those as early as possible. So as soon as the doors opened up on Wednesday, I went right to the dealers. And a nice resource, Adam Gelman has a Main Event Wrestling Patreon page. It's free. There's different levels, but the free one had an explanation about the National and which vendors are going to have wrestling cards. I wrote those numbers down. I immediately went right to them. I'll also say it was nice. This was my backpack that I roam around the National in. So it is a themed backpack, and I got a lot of compliments on it. A lot of people knew I collected wrestling because I wore that, so that was a thing I'm going to continue to do at all the conventions. The first place I went to, because they always have great stuff, is RBI Crew 7, and I was able to pick up 3 cards. And also, real quick before I begin, know that the eBay prices for me, because I live in a state that charges 10% income tax along with $5 shipping, so anything like over $100, it's going to be cheaper for me than getting on eBay because of that income tax and because of the shipping. So the first lot I had was a Bailey lot. The total was $230, and for that I got 3 cards. We got a Bailey booklet out of 35. It is a sticker, and there's the back of that. They did say that they pulled all these, which was nice. This is from National Treasures. So that was one of the cards. The next card was from Flawless, and this is a Bailey on-card auto out of 25. It's when she won the Royal Rumble. So Flawless, they're probably not doing another Flawless unless Topps buys them. So, and the next one, this card I was looking for a long time. This is out of 49. This is her finisher. They did different finishing moves in Immaculate. And this is the Bailey to Belly one. So those 3 cards were $230, so retail that was $155, so it was $255. So they gave me about 10% off, which was about normal for the different ones. If they had a high-priced card, they weren't coming down too much. They also gave me a free T-shirt, which was nice. So thank you to RBI Crew for that, showing off their different things. I'm definitely going there. That's the one place I'm going to. Each National, I'm going to them first as soon as the doors open. So the next one was my biggest single transaction. These cards were $310. The biggest card was this, and I bought this not because I collect her, but because I love this insert set. So if you bought or know of any of the sports cards, like the football cards, they would do these footwear, and they were extremely popular for those different sports. And this year they did them, I think, out of 25, 10, and 1 maybe. And this one, I think the last sold for Bianca was $230. So this was part of the deal. And this is the footwear. So this is an on-card auto. It shows the footwear. It shows the superstar and a little bit about that. So I wanted to pick up one of these footwear ones. Thought this is probably the least expensive card. Bianca's stuff is really, truly undervalued at this point, I believe, for what she is. So I picked that one up. The other cards, part of the $310 deal, was a Roddy Piper out of 25 from Panini 3-count. Those boxes, you got 3 cards, and I think it was like $250 or $300 a box. So out of 25, I'll pick up one of those as the timeless moments. Next was a Zebra out of Devon Dudley. This one I wasn't sure about, but any of the tigers, zebras, the elephants, I want to pick them up because, again, those are so recognizable with Panini, and they're not going to be doing these again. So $30, I thought I'll take a chance on Devon. I'm not going to be losing too much on that. Next one was a Bailey out of 99. The women's, even though I don't collect this insert set, $10 for out of 99, I'll pick that up. Randy Orton out of 75. This was the base from Immaculate. You got, I think, one of these in each of those. We got a Bailey out of 75 right there, National Treasures. And the last one was Paul Bearer out of 99. So I think adding these all up, 25, 55, 305, 325. So again, about a 10% discount off of those. That was my biggest purchase. That was at a different vendor. My last biggest purchase, I would say, was $160, and it was for this lot right here. And let's start with there's a lot of little stuff. So I can't even say I'm going to start with the big stuff. So the biggest card was this, and I do not collect Michelle McCool, but I'm always on the lookout for inscriptions, and this was my first inscription auto for WWE. She wrote Flawless down there. 16 out of 50, so that's very weird that she would put that on the 16 out of 50, but you know, I will take this. Again, these guys gave me about a 10% discount as well on these prices. This is the Iron Sheik, but I believe this is his base out of 25. Thought that was pretty cool. Again, out of that 3 count, that expensive product. We got a silver Bailey for 20 bucks, which I thought was a great deal. Tiger Stripe. Tigers are the ones that everybody looks for. This is Classy Freddie Blassie for 25, but Tigers, I'm going to pick those up if I can get those for around 25, 20, something like that. Bailey Undercard Blue for 25. I do not believe I have this, and for out of 25 for a PC card, have to hit that all day, every day, twice on Sunday. We have a silver Bailey, I believe, I don't know if this was the case hit or the box hit, but the silver prisms from the ring side. I want to say those were case hits, but again, $20 for that. That's a deal. And then these, a lot of $2 and $3 cards. So we got a Bailey out of 99, a regular Bray Wyatt Fractal. We have a Bailey out of 199. Even though I have these, I'm going to pick them up like $3 for a numbered Bailey. I'll take that. This is a rookie card of Ava Rain for $1.99. Did not have anything of her. Numbered out of 149, Rowdy Piper. Purple. We have a Gunther Blue Wave, and the Blue Waves, again, this is important when you're watching box breaks. I know a lot of people like to watch those. When you're watching them, take notice of what people are getting in their boxes. So if they're only getting one of these are pretty rare compared to what you normally get, so that's why I got these. Love these Spellbound ones. We got a Roman Reigns R, Rey Mysterio E, Stone Cold S. We have a Bailey out of 275, the status insert. We have a Paul Heyman out of 149, and then the green L for Stone Cold right there. So that was 160. The next lot I had was 102. So these were each $1, and those were the prisms. Well, this one was the prism, the Spectra prism, and I guess this was an XR, so that's Chronicles. And then this card, and I have to tell you guys and gals out there, artistic selection. So this was a case hit out of the T-Mall. I saw these going for around, online, I want to say 90 was the last thing, and I hate putting out my phone, so if I see something, I'll go off to the corner, figure out what it is, and then I'll come back knowing what it is. I got this for 100. Looking online, the last sale was about 70, 75. So again, if I'm paying that $7 for income tax as well as, or state tax, as well as the $5 for shipping, I could normally get this for 85. So I overpaid for 15. Nice bunch of guys. They're starting their own shop. I figure, and a retired vet, I'll give them an extra 15 bucks on those cards. But my point for these is, you know, everybody's going after the color blast and the color wheels and the downtowns. Look for some of these other sets. I've been starting to secretly pick these up. The other case hits from other stuff that people may not know about. So if you want more about that, you can always put a comment in there and I'll tell you more. But look for those case hits that are off the radar right now that I think are just severely undervalued at this point. This one, so I picked up a Bray Wyatt undercard out of 25. It wasn't 150, it was $20. I asked, was this the undercard out of 25? And the guy's like, no, I don't think so. And then he said, looked and said, yeah, it is. So it's important to know your cards when you're going in because you may get a good deal. Somebody might not know what they actually are. So again, know your cards before you go to a show. That one I got, I just love those. Anything 25 and $20 for a Bray Wyatt to me seems like a steal. I got this lot of cards for 18. The biggest cards was a numbered Miss Elizabeth out of 99, so you get the top loader too, or not top loader, but the magnet. This was out of, I think it was 2016 Undisputed numbered out of 99. We then have the banner year. It's hard to tell with the lights, but there's like a couple shades there. There's some like faint, I don't know if it's brown on the banner, but this is a decorative banner that's been used during an AEW event. $5, so less than that with the discount. Wanted to pick those up. I thought those were cool. And then these were all, I think these are all $1. So we got Mankind out of $1.99 right there. Pink Shimmer Bray Wyatt. The Rock Panini Honors. I thought those were rare in terms of how many of those you got in a box of Chronicles. We got the Black and Silver Triple H from Chrome. We have the Uncle Howdy Prism right there. We have a red out of $2.99 Triple H, and then a blue Undertaker out of $2.49. So that pile was 18 right there, that little pile. Then picked up this Bailey for $2. This was out of $1.99 from the Chronicles set, Luminance set. Yeah, Chronicles set. This isn't Photogenic. So Chronicles out of $1.99. I then stumbled upon some really bizarre stuff. They had like some James Bond stuff and some Clerk stuff. All these cards were about $2, but I'm bringing this up because they had some wrestling smothered in. And I picked these up for about $1.50 a card based on what I got. And you remember I just did a break of these cards, and the packs, I think of these, you got normally 6 to 8 cards in one of these packs of the wrestling stars. Picked up 3 of these, so for $1.50 I'll take that. So again, the heirs here, so you see Crusher Khrushchev and Ivan Koloff, and you only have one person, so where's the other person in the picture? You have a Kerry Von Erich, you could tell it's from a magazine because you see those words there off to the right, and a Greg Valentine, so those were $1.50. We have this, which I believe might have been from some type of game, and the reason I say this is because the back of this says cannot be blocked or dodged. So I'm assuming this is part of a game. I don't know which one this is though. This one is from a set. This is from 2007. This is Ric Flair, but it's a magnet. And I'm guessing it came out of a set. I have no idea how. Maybe you got like 2 of these a box, 1 a box. I don't know. I'll take $1.50 for a Ric Flair magnet. And then this was interesting. This is a John Cena Heritage card, but this is a promo card. So I don't know how many of these promo cards lasted, but for $1.50 I'll take a chance, especially with the old school John Cena right there at the chain with the Dr. Thugonomics right there. So, you never know when you're going to find wrestling. And the last stack I'm going to show you, he had wrestling and he had a couple long boxes, but the rest of these singles, it was like there was a smattering sometimes on people's boxes. You really had to do your digging to find wrestling at the National. Now this stack right here I got for $80, and these are all going to be 80 cents a piece. So we're not talking breaking the bank here, but a lot of this stuff was very cool. So Sapphire, these boxes are around 300, I believe, and I want to say you maybe only get 32 total cards in a Sapphire box. And I was getting these singles for 80, so anybody that was anybody in these Sapphire cards I was picking up. So we got a Charlotte Flair, we got a CM Punk, Obafemi, Gunther, Bianca Belair, Rey Mysterio, Becky, Drew McIntyre, Kurt Angle, Roxanne Perez, Batista, Kane, and Lyra Valkyria. So I got those all for 80 cents. Again, sticking with, these are all 80 cents. We got the Green Prism Roddy Piper. I love that photo. Spectra Stone Cold. Prism Silver Stone Cold. We got a Bailey. I'm not sure if I have her, so I'm just going to take it. And if I have her, well, I wasted 80 cents. The canvas cards, which were a hard hit from the AEW. I think you got maybe 2 of those per box, or 3 of those. I'm not sure. We got another Groove Bailey. We got a throwback Bailey from Select. I didn't open any Select, so I knew I didn't needed those. We have a green Bailey. Have the Blue Wave again. The Blue Waves were 1 per box from what I could tell. Picked up the Damian Priest. These green, these were 1 in 4 packs, 1 in 5 packs in the SmackDown Live. Undertaker from Chronicles, Royalty. I don't think I opened up some Chronicles, did not see those. I think these Legacy cards were 1 per box, so picked up China. Got a Bray Wyatt Prism from Premier. Some cool WrestleMania moments, some prisms right there, and then and new. Again, I haven't opened up any select, so those were all new to me. We got a green Paul Heyman, prism Paul Heyman. Got a red out of $2.99 Kurt Angle for 80 cents. Got a silver Bray Wyatt with the lantern. Thought that was a very cool picture. I think I needed these 5-timers clubs for the set I'm building, so I picked those up. We got a Bailey. We got a Andre the Giant fractal. We got a couple prisms right here of Andre the Giant from Prism. Again, that Legacy part of Chronicles. Hulk Hogan, I know I needed that. And more select. Did not open up any of these, so I knew I needed the Bray Wyatt. And the orange, of course, were retail based. So that's that. And then the last stack here of the 80-cent piles, we got red, white, and blue, Taker and Tiffany. We got an undercard of Asuka and Triple H. More Baileys. Undercard. We have, see, all this stuff was kind of smattered in. This is a 2016 Becky Lynch, so this was her second year, I believe. So I'll take that. We got more prisms, Bailey and Ultimate Warrior for Prism. We got an undercard, red, white, and blue Hulk Hogan. Red, white, and blue, that was his thing, so that's why I picked that up. More prisms. I love that picture of Becky Lynch on the Elimination Chamber right there, and a silver Dusty Rhodes. Another green Dusty Rhodes and a red wave of China. Red, white, and blue Charlotte Flair, and they had, so Planet Metal, I think these were one-a-box of the AEW metal, so I picked up Ricky Starks, now he's in WWE. This biggest little man, we're not guaranteed one of these in each box. This was the subset of Rey Mysterio, so for 80 cents, this was a steal. These are very hard to get, and they're thick too, so that was nice. Great picture of Stone Cold right there. I believe that was Chronicles, yep, from Certified. Action-packed Taker. Love to find that in the gold, but that was from Chronicles as well. Got a silver Taker right there. A silver picture of Roman Reigns. Love that. Green Roman Reigns, blue wave Batista. Tiffany Stratton, so some stuff that I haven't opened. Select, 2 Baileys I knew I needed because I did not open any of those. WrestleMania moment silver of Stone Cold. We have a Chad Gable rookie card out of Undisputed, and that is 2017 Undisputed. I'll take a chance on that. I'm not breaking the bank. Legacy of Warrior. We got a silver Flair and another tricolor Hulk Hogan. Red wave Asuka, Alexa Bliss, silver, and red wave. We got a very cool picture of silver of Roman Reigns. Love that one. Another Roman Reigns putting up the 1 with the orange. We have an undercard of Cody Rhodes. Silver Paul Bearer, regular Uncle Howdy. Love the picture of that. We have another Undisputed. This one is 2020 of Toni Storm. She's doing some nice things in AEW. Green Rowdy Piper, Uncrowned Greatness of Jake the Snake. Did not have those. This action-packed, what is this from? 96? 95 action-packed of Alundra Blaze. Okay, didn't open up any of that. Red wave and green. Found a Sasha Banks regular Grand Slam champion. This was an Undisputed as well. This was 2021. So that's very reasonable. And then a CM Punk silver and a Kurt Angle red wave is going to round it out. So just looking at, and then what I normally do for wrestling or anything is at the start of the show, I'll sell some sealed wax, and then I have that as my budget. So I was able to get some nice deals or nice selling prices for some sealed that I got. And then this gives me money to play with to expand my wrestling collection. So what did you think about what I showed off here for wrestling pickups at the National? What did you pick up at the National if you went? If you did want to go to the National, what would you be looking for? Want to hear all those comments. I had a lot of fun with this. It was hard to find wrestling, but it was very cool when you stumbled upon it. And please, wear a wrestling shirt, because if you ask for wrestling, number one, the vendor's going to ask you, who do you like who's your PC? And then they might have something in the back that they don't have out that they'll say, oh, well, you like wrestling? Well, let me show you this stuff. I got a couple of those along the way as well. So those are my tips. Really appreciate checking out this video. Like, subscribe. Tell me what you picked up at the National or what you wish you would have been able to pick up at the National. Tell me about that. And, of course, their social media, Instagram, @LikeAHawkCards, all one word. Hope you have a lot of luck in your next break, and thanks for watching Like a Hawk.
Bye.